Good morning, Taste Buds. Join me today for recipes to help you start 2024 the right way. I've got morning glory muffins and breakfast burritos and something to help wash it down and wash New Year's Eve over celebrating away here on SoFlo Taste. How fun is that? Almost. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein in the Goya kitchen at Junior Achievement of South Florida and Coconut Creek, and welcome to the year-ending edition of SoFlo Taste. They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, personally, I don't. I think that the next meal you're about to have is the most important meal of any day. But after all, I am a chef. Anyway, for those who give breakfast lofty status, I would guess that the first meal of the new year would have to be the most important meal of the year. So today I thought it would be fun to give you recipes worthy of being the best meal of the very short new year. So let's get cooking. Actually, shaken. The first thing we're gonna make is one of my favorite drinks for breakfast, the Bloody Mary, but we're also gonna make the Bloody Maria. We're gonna make two at the same time. And rather than actually make the mix, I decided to show you just how to get a great drink on without having to make the actual mix. So I went to my friend Daniel, who makes filthy Bloody Mary mix. And what I love about this company is that it's local. And this Bloody Mary mix is really all that and more. It's wonderful. It hits all the notes of the high in acid and salty and just makes my mouth water. Like everything you'd ever need in a Bloody Mary or Maria. So I figured what we would do is kind of bring it all together. So before I even make the drink, we're gonna go ahead and rim the glass. So one will be for a Bloody Maria, and the difference between a Bloody Mary and a Bloody Maria is in the alcohol. One will be tequila and the other will be vodka. So I'm only gonna rim half a glass because I kind of feel like not everybody likes a rimmed glass of spice. So for the Maria, I'm just gonna dip it into tahini. And if you've never had tahini before, it's this delicious kind of salty, spicy, dry spice mixture that you can find. It's Mexican, and in Mexico, we put it a lot on like a sprinkle on a fruit and different things, but here we use it a lot in drinks. So it's great on the rim. It has every like spicy and salty and kind of high acid note that you would want. Then for the traditional Bloody Mary, I'm gonna go ahead and just use a little bit of celery salt, which I love. And I use a lot in a lot of things at home, like my egg salad always has a little celery salt. All right, so we've got half a rim for the Maria and half a rim for the Mary. The next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and add our liquor. Normally, it's approximately 1.5 ounces of spirit to Bloody Mary. So this is the vodka. And by the way, I always keep the vodka in the freezer. You always want it really, really cold. So let's just say about that much would be about 1.5 ounces. And then I've got my tequila. And I'm gonna go ahead and do about the same amount of tequila for the Maria. Then we're gonna take Dan's Bloody Mary mix, or Filthy. Isn't that a great name? Filthy. So it's about half a bag for one drink. I'm gonna go a little bit more than that because I love it. Okay. Next, let's start talking about toppings. Now, my husband, he loves a Bloody Mary bar, which means that you put all the toppings that people would ever and never think of and love, and people can just go crazy. So it's a lot of fun. You can also put things that could go into the Bloody Mary or Maria. Horseradish, black pepper, crunchy smoked salt, whatever it is you think people would love. A little extra hot sauce. Let's just say that you wanted to add a little hot sauce to your Maria. Then the toppings, and this is where you can really have fun. First of all, I'm gonna add ice, which I probably should have done at the beginning, but I'm gonna add it now, because you really need your Bloody Marys and Marias to be really, really, really cold. There we go. Now let's talk about toppings. So have some fun skewers around. I always have like little ones with little balls or little knots on them, whatever it is that you guys like. Shrimp cocktail is so delicious on a Bloody Mary. If you really think about the sauce of a shrimp cocktail is kind of similar to a Bloody Mary sauce. So let's skewer a couple of shrimp along with, let's do a pickle on this one. And then I got these fun olives with chilies on them. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of those. And then we've got these great skewered things that can go into the Maria. Look how fun that looks. And then for the Mary, let's maybe be a little more traditional and do celery, and then maybe let's do an olive or two for this one. And there you have it. And then let's throw a little lime wedge on the Mary, like so. Okay, so we've got our beverages. We are ready to jump into food next. Enjoy the Maria, enjoy the Mary. You've got to try it. There's nothing better to open up the appetite and get ready for a great meal. Come right back because I've got more after the break.
Come back to SoFlo Taste from the Goya Kitchen at Junior Achievement of South Florida. Chef Michelle is just getting started here on Local 10.
How would you like to win a $500 Goya Seasoning Greetings gift card? Well, of course you would. Well, your chance awaits at local10.com. Just go to local10.com/contest to register. The Goya's Seasonings Greetings winner will be chosen on January 3rd, 2024. So enter today. Just go to local10.com/contests for your chance to win Goya's Seasonings Greetings $500 gift card giveaway. Because if it's Goya, it has to be good. Welcome back. I'm here at Junior Achievement of South Florida in Coconut Creek, a wonderful place for our children and soon adults. On January 27th, the JA Circle of Wise Women present JA Uncorked. For tickets, sponsorship opportunities, and information, visit jasouthflorida.org/JA World Uncorked or call 954-979-7120. Now back to the first meal of the new year. I used to make at my old restaurant called Crumb this burrito that was like the best thing on earth. It was so delicious. And I love chorizo, and I love making chorizo with chicken. So I'm gonna teach you how to make chicken chorizo. This recipe can be good for anything, but it happens to be the base of my delicious breakfast burrito that I'm gonna show you. And this gorgeous ground chicken is, of course, from my friends over at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, which, by the way, they have everything you'll need for your tailgate football watch party. They've got great stone crab claws, like the best, and mustard sauce. Call them 954-983-6831. Place an order. They're at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. Visit DelawareChicken.com. Place an order. Tell them Michelle sent you. And by the way, they'll be closing on tomorrow, New Year's Eve at 5 p.m., okay? And so they'll be closed also on Monday, New Year's Day. So make sure you go, wish them a Happy New Year, get some good claws, and again, send my love. All right, let's jump into chicken chorizo. So in this pot, I've got 3 guajillo chilies. This is what they now look like. They used to look like this. This is what a dried guajillo looks like. First, you toast it in a dry saute pan, and then you put it in water to get it really nice and soft. I'm gonna put it right into the blender, and I'll be adding ground cinnamon, dried oregano, cumin, paprika, cayenne, some garlic cloves, a good amount of salt, some chopped up onion, and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And let's hope this makes a really nice puree, or paste actually. All right, so then you take that delicious puree that I'm not going to stick my face into because I can only imagine. It smells pretty delicious. And then you pour that into the chicken. Now, the amount in the recipe that I've given you, that you'll find, by the way, on SoFloTaste.com, is exactly the amount for the ground chicken that I'm giving you. Obviously, this is a lot of chicken, and here's what it's looking like. This is a lot of ground chicken, but you can make this and you can freeze this, and you'll always have your beautiful chicken chorizo ready to go. Let's jump over and start making the actual recipe. So I'm going to cook the chicken chorizo, and then I'll add the eggs to it. So this would just be an amount for one burrito. I mean, who doesn't love chorizo? So I'll add a little bit more to it. This cooks up really fast, probably because it's chicken. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to it, just a touch of olive oil, a little bit. Make it all go. I know it has salt, but I'm already going to season it with salt and pepper because I'm adding eggs to it, which will take away from the seasoning a little bit. Just a touch of chopped up onion, some chopped tomatoes. Keep working the chorizo. That's actually almost cooked. I already have a cast iron pan warming up. I'm just going to softly put in my tortilla just for a couple seconds to make it a little more pliable for when I add all the goodies into it. Okay, let's go ahead and beat up a couple eggs. Really so important to always add really good fresh eggs. And how do you know when an egg is fresh? It's beautifully bright. You get it in a good place. You make sure they're at least free range or organic. All right, let's go ahead and add some eggs to the chorizo. So this is going to be a light scramble. Bring that heat down once you add your eggs because you don't want them to be very dry. And let's start getting this burrito ready. I've got a bunch of different things going here that I love on my burrito. You can also, by the way, turn these into tacos if you'd rather. So it doesn't have to be a burrito, it can also be a taco. So I'm going to slice up a little bit of avocado. I've got some shredded mixed cheeses. I've got a little cilantro and a little bit of sour cream in a squeeze bottle that I always have around my house. Let's go ahead and put the avocado down. Check on our eggs because I think they should be almost ready. So it's really up to you. Everybody thinks their eggs are the way they should be, right? We all have our own style of how we like our eggs, how wet, how dry, how much, how little. I personally do not like dry eggs at all. This to me is perfect. So I'm going to add, this would be a great amount for 2 burritos. There we go. I can smell the spices from the chorizo, just delicious. And how easy was that to make your own chorizo? It's pretty cool. Add a little bit of sour cream to that, some cheese, and finally, some cilantro. Now, wrapping has always been my problem. So let's go ahead and start this way. I wish Amanda was here. She always makes the best burritos. She always tells me to tuck, tuck, tuck. So obviously the sealed part has to go down first. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this in the pan. I'm going to let it toast all the way around. And by the time you come back, not only will that beauty be ready, but we're going to dig into something a little bit sweet, a little bit healthy, but definitely delicious. As you know by now, all of my recipes are always available on the SoFlo Show's webpage. Just scan this quick response code. You'll be swept to the fabulous SoFlo Show's page. You'll also see this QRC on the ingredient list throughout the show. Back in a moment with more SoFlo Taste, so come right back. We'll see what's cooking on SoFlo Taste right after this. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. So I really thought we should end with something sweet, but remember, this is the beginning of the year. So I really wanted it to be sweet, but a little bit healthy at the same time. We're gonna make morning Glory Muffins, one of my favorite muffins. We're gonna start out by soaking golden raisins in a little bit of water, just so that they soften up just a little bit while we make the rest. So here I have all-purpose flour, and you can actually make this with your favorite gluten-free flour if you'd rather. And let's just make sure that we sift this really well because we don't want any lumps. All right, from there, we're gonna add all the dry stuff in here. So we're gonna go with the salt, baking soda, and baking flour, a good amount of cinnamon, a nice amount of ground ginger, some walnuts that have been roasted and chopped up a little bit, and brown sugar. Let's just mix all that together. And you don't want to see like mountains of cinnamon or anything too separated. You want it all to be well mixed. Let's jump into all the wet stuff, but before we do, let's gather our raisins. And this is a step that we just do because we like the raisins to add a little bit of moisture to the mix. All right, so I've got my raisins out. I have one grated apple, a Granny Smith, goes right in. We've got a couple of grated carrots. I love how chewy these muffins are. I love the texture. Some shredded coconut flake, orange juice, vanilla, which we love using vanilla paste. Okay, and then finally some vegetable oil. You really don't want to use olive oil in this because the flavor will just take away from the delicate flavors of the mix. Let's top it with a little bit of the raisin. There we go. And let's mix all this together. And this is being mixed into the eggs that we had in the bowl. Then finally, we'll mix. The wet mixture goes right into the flour mixture. Try to get every little bit out. And this was another recipe we used to make at my old bakery. Oh, speaking of my old bakery, Crumb, check out my gorgeous burrito. It's our breakfast burrito with our house-made chicken chorizo. And what I love about it is you can see the chunks of the avocado in there, a little bit of that cilantro, and that chicken chorizo came out so tasty. I really prefer it, believe it or not, to the pork chorizo. The chicken is so much more delicate, but still has those great spices and flavors in it. All right, so this is pretty much mixed. The only thing we do after we scoop it into muffin tins is we love to sprinkle a little bit of sugar in the raw or turbinado sugar right over each muffin to give it a little bit of texture. So this is how our muffins turned out. And because it is the new year, you know, it's always fun to give a little bit of sparkle to everything you do. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this tray with some love. Come right back and I'll see y'all in a minute. SoFlo Taste will return right after this. I thank you for watching SoFlo Taste today, and I wish you the very best in the new year. Try these recipes. They can help you get your 2024 off to a good start. Is your refrigerator just a storage unit for small boxes of takeout rice containers that you just keep long enough, then throw out? Well, next time I'm giving you some recipes for leftover rice, so please be here for the next SoFlo Taste. Time to check in with Hunter Frankie to see what he's got tomorrow on SoFlo Health. Hey Hunter, what's up?
Hey there, Michelle. That New Year's breakfast looks delicious. I think I'm going to try the burrito myself. If you join us tomorrow on SoFlo Health, we're going to take a look back at 2023 and look at some of the healthiest segments we've done, the fun places we've been, and the cool people we've met. And I'll also show you why this position is very good for your health. It's all right here tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on the one and only Local 10 for SoFlo Health.
Thank you, sir. We'll be watching tomorrow at 12:30, and Happy New Year to you. So, Taste Buds, I wish you a joyous and safe New Year's Eve and a productive, prosperous, and peaceful 2024. I'd also like to thank our wonderful sponsors, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market and Goya, for a great year. And since this is our year-ending episode, please join me in also thanking the people you're about to see for making this year of SoFlo Taste a very tasteful one. I love them all. Goodbye, good taste, and happy